Hello, welcome to Pop Nick's Music. I am, as always, your host, Pop Nick Lewis. And today... Ooh, slow reveal as he pries himself out of his seat. Today we're talking about Steely Dan. For the past couple of weeks, I've been posting videos where I've been going back and revisiting topics that were popular among my viewers. 2 weeks ago, I did my third most popular video. I revisited that topic, and that was my Beach Boys ranking video. So I gave you my 10 songs that demonstrated why I was a Beach Boys fan. Last week, I revisited the subject matter of my second most popular video, which was my Monkees album ranking, and I gave you my top 5 per Monkee songs. Top 5 songs per Monkee. I say that right. This week, I am revisiting my hands down most popular video that I've released. My Monkees video, man, that was a popular video. I'm in the 900s now. I'm getting close to 1,000 views on that thing. However, my Steely Dan video, oh my God. As of the morning of August 24th, that thing has over 10,000 views, 10,366 views, which is just way out of proportion to the rest of the videos that I've done here. Far and away the most popular video that I've done. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to revisit Steely Dan. Ooh. And this is from their 2015 tour, by the way. And today I'm going to give you my top 10, and it's going to be a straight up top 10. I'm not going to jerk around. I'm not going to come up with some cutesy, the top 10 that have Chuck Rainey playing bass or any of that nonsense. I'm just going to tell you, these are my 10 favorite Steely Dan songs. A couple of things before I get into this. The fact that my Steely Dan video has as many views as it does means, just by sheer numbers, it's also the video that has generated the most commentary. And when I first started doing these videos, it was because I wanted to participate in the conversation, right? I enjoy talking about music with people who like music. This is one of the things that I find endlessly entertaining. If I'm at a party and I'm sitting with somebody and we find out that we both are music fans, okay, I'm going to spend the rest of the evening talking with that person. We may not like the same artists, but that's not the problem, right? That's okay. I can explain why I don't like something that they do like. They can explain why they don't like something that I do like. And because this is a nice, polite gathering, it's a productive conversation and it's fun. It is the best way I know to see the world from somebody else's perspective. Talk about artworks that you're both familiar with. It's win-win across the board. And the comments that I have gotten on that Steely Dan video underscore that, because the overwhelming majority of these comments are, hey, I enjoyed that video. I disagree with the way you've got these guys ranked, but I like the cut of your jib, right? And hey, that's fantastic. I got quite a bit of negative pushback because I did mention in that video that there were, out of all of the songs that Steely Dan has released on all of their albums, there are only 3 songs that I regularly skip over when I'm listening to the albums. One of those songs was Do It Again, and I was expecting a lot of pushback on Do It Again because, man, that one is everybody loves Do It Again, I assumed. And I didn't get that much pushback from it. I, in fact, heard from quite a few people who were, yeah, I'm getting tired of that one too. It's got nice guitar work in it, but yeah. What surprised me was the pushback I got when I said that Third World Man off of Gaucho was one of my skippers. Oh no, there's a lot of Third World Man fans out there. And even when people were taking me to task for skipping Third World Man, they were still being polite about it. And it was still a productive conversation. So much so that I'm starting to come around. Maybe I need to listen to Third World Man a bit more carefully. There might be things in there that I've shut myself off to, right? That's the power of this kind of conversation. But with large viewership comes higher than normal commentary, and higher than normal commentary means it's that much more likely that I'm going to have the occasional troll in there. I have had a handful of comments that are less than helpful. the bulk of the comments essentially boil down to the no true Scotsman fallacy, right? The rhetorical fallacy that says, well, no true member of this group would actually think this way. This is not a real Dan guy in my book. Maybe a song and dance guy. Not even sure what that means. Any true Dan fan skips this brainless review, right? No true fan of Steely Dan could ever think, fill in the blank, which is a poppycock. There are a lot of Steely Dan fans that don't care much for Third World Man. I'm not the only one. There are a lot that don't care for Do It Again. I'm not the only one. But I can handle that. That doesn't bother me. I mean, that's there are people who think tribally about this sort of stuff, and if we have any level of disagreement, you must be shunned. And I'm fine. No biggie there. But there were a couple that I did want to pull out because I want to address these concepts. One of them, and they are both, I would argue, a form of intellectual bullying. They are a form of, I am putting myself above you for reasons that have to do with such things as class. Okay? For example, one of the commenters dismissed my video just right. It said it was my video was, quote, the dinosaur's view of Steely Dan, all wrong, I'm afraid. That's fine. You call me a dinosaur, I don't care. I don't think I am, but then again, I wouldn't, right? No biggie. But this guy tacked on, and Epiphones? I don't think so. Because the guitar that is over this shoulder at the time that I made that video was my Epiphone resonator guitar, which is now in a completely different room here at the sprawling headquarters of Papa Nick's Music. Now I've got one of my Fenders. I've got my Mexican Telecaster here. Typically, this is where I've had my Takamine 6-string acoustic. It's my backup guitar for when I'm performing. When I play out, I do a solo acoustic thing. My main guitar is a cheap Martin. It's a Mexican Martin. My second main guitar is a cheap Taylor. It's a Mexican Taylor. The Martin is 6-string. The Taylor is 12-string. I like the way Martin's 6-strings sound, and I like the way Taylor 12-strings sound. Neither of these is top-end gear. They're the cheapest Martin/Taylors I could find. My Mexican Telly here, not a top-end Telly. And if I were to pan my camera just a little bit, you would see a guitar rack that's right next to it that has my Epiphone Les Paul. It has a Squier Starcaster, which I love. Oh man, the Starcaster is a highly underrated guitar, I would argue. That's a good guitar. It plays good, it sounds good. Nothing but love from me for the Starcaster. I've also got a couple of really cheap Strat knockoffs. They're both made by Eart, however you pronounce that, E-A-R-T. They are cheap guitars. One of them was super cheap. I bought it so that I could start working on modding a guitar. And I bought it to be an empty chassis for the most part. And then when I actually plugged it in and played it, turns out I like the way the pickup sounds. So I probably am not going to change it. Put some different tuners on it, that kind of stuff. But the point of this is all of my gear is cheap. It has to be cheap. I am not a particularly wealthy person. I cannot afford to spend, $1,500 on a guitar or $3,500 on a guitar. If I had the money to spend it, I don't know that I would be able to. There's something in my soul that says no. No, I can make this $300 guitar sound as good as that $1,500 guitar. So why spend that extra amount of money, right? More importantly, the price point of the gear that I have, the dollar value of the vinyl that I have on the wall, the dollar value of my quasi-collectibles that I have up here has nothing to do with the content of my brain. It has nothing to do with my ability to perceive and appreciate artistic activities. Okay? To dismiss somebody because they have cheap gear is little more than saying, okay, I've checked your bank balance and you don't have very much money, so therefore you are not worth listening to. That's a bullshit argument. You can go piss right off with that thing. The other argument that I got that I thought was a bullshit argument was somebody who put at the end of what up to this point was a comment that disagreed with me, but at the same time was not rude about it. But at the end of it, he tacked on, I don't know how good of a musician you are. I'll give you the answer to that. Not a particularly good one. I would have to listen to your best licks, and then I could take you seriously, he wrote. Okay, here's another bullshit idea. It's the idea that in order to have an informed aesthetic appreciation of an artwork, you have to be able to produce similar artworks. That if you cannot produce a similar artwork, a comparable artwork, then you should not have a voice. Bullshit. I don't have to be a master woodworker to recognize a quality cabinet. I don't have to be a master painter to recognize a quality portrait. I don't have to be a master sculptor to recognize a good work of sculpture. Okay? I don't have to be a master musician to recognize master musicianship. Bullshit. So, one of the good things about my Steely Dan video was that it gave me this opportunity to vent on some of these things that I think are actually pretty important. But like I said, the overwhelming majority, I mean, there's like 250-ish comments on that video. And I went through this morning and pulled out everything that was even vaguely negative, and I have 6 out of 250-ish. I mean, fantastic. I mean, that's hot dog. I mean, I love that. I love the fact that the overwhelming majority of the commentary on the video was participatory as opposed to denigrating. Nice job, guys. Fantastic. Okay, now before I get into my top 10, of course, we have to do the subjectivity notice. Of course. All artistic appreciation is subjective. There is no such thing as objectively good or objectively bad art. There is only art that I like and art that I do not like. And as long as we keep that in mind, this is a wonderful conversation. I've already talked about that. It's when we start thinking that one of us has to be right or wrong, that's when everything goes off the rails. These 6 are people who had a vested interest in trying to explain to me why I was wrong, or trying to label me as being wrong. Up yours, right? As long as we avoid that, this is a wonderful conversation. Okay. Now, because this is a top 10, Papa Nick's Music's unofficial sponsor for the top 10 series is Schoefferhofer beer. That's good beer. It seriously is good beer, folks. I mean, if you like fruit-flavored beers, pick up some Schoefferhofer. It's good stuff. Okay, these are my top 10 songs by Steely Dan. When I first started working on this, I thought, okay, I'm gonna do something cutesy, something clever, like I've been doing, right? With my monkeys last week, I didn't just give you a top 10. I gave you top 5 per monkey. Ooh. I didn't give you my 10 favorite Beach Boys songs. I gave you 10 songs that you might not be familiar with if you're not an ardent Beach Boys fan, that will explain to you why I love the Beach Boys. Oh, I'm trying to be clever. This one, I'm not trying to be clever. I originally thought, okay, I'm going to do my top 10 singles and then my top 10 album cuts. And I thought, no, screw it. I'm just going to give you my top 10. These are my 10 favorite Steely Dan songs. Remember, it's the vicinity of 90 songs here that we're talking about in all of these albums combined. And there's only 3 of them that I skip over, right? 96% of the songs that Steely Dan has released, I really like. So, if I have a song that does not crack this list, that doesn't mean I don't like it. I mean, I can't even say that I don't like Third World Man, My Rival, and Do It Again. I'm just tired of Do It Again, and I've never been particularly fond of My Rival and Third World Man. It's not that I dislike them. I don't want to invest the time in listening to them, right? There's a difference there. Every other song, it's not whether I like it or not, it's how much I like it, okay? So these are the 10 that I'm pulling out. It took me quite a bit longer to do this than I thought it would, and I thought it was going to take a long time. Coming in at number 10, a song that was mentioned quite a lot in the comments to my Steely Dan album ranking video, because it's a song that a lot of people like that wasn't on any of the albums, and so there was no reason to talk about it. But I'm talking about it now, and that is, of course, FM, No Static at All, from 1978's FM soundtrack. I really like FM. I liked it when it came out. It's just a nice, groovy, jazzy song. I like it a lot, and I think it has probably Walter Becker's best guitar work. I did not realize until I was going back and researching stuff for today's video that's Walter Becker playing all those guitars in there. I just assumed in the back of my mind that it's going to be, Larry Carlton or Dean Parks or, Lee Ritenour, one of those guys that Fagen and Becker liked to work with. And no, that's Walter Becker on that. So nicely done, Walter. Number 10, FM, No Static at All. Number 9, from my favorite top-ranked Steely Dan album, spoiler alert if you haven't watched that video, if you're one of the few. From the Royal Scam, we've got The Caves of Altamira. Oh man, do I love this song. I love the horns at the beginning. That's just, just the way it opens up. I'm like, okay, I'm ready. You've got me. I'll subscribe to your newsletter. Sure. Go, send me the notifications, right? I'm on board. But I really like the lyric as well. That's Caves of Altamira. I like that song a lot. Okay, coming in at number 8, from Pretzel Logic, from 1974, we've got one of their big hits, Rikki, Don't Lose That Number. I love this song. I love Rikki, Don't Lose That Number. Jeff Skunk Baxter's guitar solo at the in the instrumental bit, the bridge in the middle, is my one of my favorite guitar solos. I had a friend, I don't know, a couple of years ago, who posted something on Facebook. List your top 3 guitar solos, top 3 favorite guitar solos. And I had to think about my third one, because I didn't have to think about the first 2. My favorite guitar solo of any song I've heard is Bert Navari's extended solo in My Sharona, the album version, not the single. Bert Navar, fantastic. My second favorite, Skunk Baxter in Rikki, Don't Lose That Number. Oh, fantastic. Third favorite turned out to be Comfortably Numb. Once I thought about it, it's like, oh yeah, that's got to be in there too. That is the level, as far as I'm concerned, that Skunk Baxter is at. I'm favorably comparing him to David Gilmour, for God's sake. Rikki, Don't Lose That Number, number 8. There's a nice sharp edit there, because, yeah. Number 7, from 1977's Asia album, another huge hit, Peg. I think Peg is just, my note here is perfect radio pop. I think if you set out to create the perfect radio pop tune from the late 1970s, you got a bunch of scientists together to design this thing, you're going to come out with Peg. That's going to be the end result of it. It's just, it's a brilliant little pop tune. I love Peg. It's one of those that, as soon as I hear that intro, yeah, crank that dial up. You better believe it. Oh, Peg. Love that song. My number 6 song from the same album. We're back to back in here. From Asia, my number 6 favorite Steely Dan song is Black Cow. I love Black Cow. I love the music of Black Cow. This is one of their songs that I really don't listen much to the words. I mean, I pay attention in the sense that I sing along with it. I know the words, but when I'm listening to Black Cow, I'm just listening to the music on this thing. I love the chord progression in this song. I love Chuck Rainey. Oh my God, is that man a hell of a bassist? And he plays the shit out of that bass. Black Cow. I love Black Cow. Number 6. Okay, number 5. For my number 5 song, top 5 here. Okay. It was not hard for me as I was going through to identify my top 5. Filling out the rest of the top 10, that was hard because I had like 30 songs that were all trying to be in spots 6 through 10. But spots 1 through 5, I knew going in pretty much what those songs were. The only thing I had to worry about was their order, which is as close as I'm going to get to the Rick Beato-esque. On any given day, you could put any one of these in first place. Bullshit that I try to avoid, that I mock every opportunity I have. But this is as close as I can come to saying that. Coming in at number 5, from 1972's Can't Buy a Thrill, my hands-down favorite song on Can't Buy a Thrill, and there's a lot of good stuff on there. Only a fool would say that. I have learned fairly recently, I can't tell you how recently it is. I'm time blind. I've got no sense of the duration of time. But, within the past, anywhere from last year to 8 years ago, somewhere in that neighborhood, I came across the idea, the popular conception that the fool of Only a Fool Could Say That is John Lennon. And considering the visceral reaction I have always had to the song Imagine, which is not the visceral positive reaction that virtually everybody else has, Imagine is, I think, it's going to be a contender. One of these days, if I do my top 10 overrated songs, Imagine's going to be on that list. And it always struck me as awkward that this man who has all of the advantage that he has, he grew up in harsh environments and experiences. I understand all of that, but at the time that he's cranking out Imagine, he's living a really comfortable lifestyle, and it's very easy for somebody who doesn't worry about paying the bills to talk about how wouldn't it be nice to not have to pay the bills? Yeah, wouldn't it? Jesus. So that's added a little level of maybe I like it a little bit more now. Whether the fool is John Lennon or not, the song itself is fantastic. I love Only a Fool Would Say That. My number 4 song from 1977's Asia, my third of 3 Asia songs. It is the title track from Asia, which I was talking about Black Cow earlier. When I listen to Black Cow, I'm not really listening to the lyrics. When I listen to Asia, I'm not really listening to the lyrics. I don't know that I could sing the lyrics of Asia if I don't have the song going to prompt me. I'm pretty sure I could make it most of the way through Black Cow if I've got the music to prompt me. I wouldn't need to listen to the lyrics. But if I'm listening to the music, I'll know what word goes where. But Asia, I'm probably going to have to either work off of a lyric sheet, or I'm going to have to be echoing the lyrics that I hear, because I don't know that I may be wrong. I may actually know the lyrics to the song. I would be surprised if I did. But I've listened to the song thousands of times. When I listen to the song, I'm listening to the music. I'm not listening to the words. And I love it. My note here is, as far as I'm concerned, this is borderline perfect jazz/pop symphony. I love Asia. Another harsh edit. Coming in at number 3, while we're talking about songs that I know the lyrics to or don't know the lyrics to. I know the lyrics to this one. I sing along with it every time I hear the song. I have no clue what they mean. I'm picking up a vague impression of a story, but I have no idea what it is. But I don't care, because the lyrics sound cool and the music is fantastic. Off of 1975's Katy Lled, my number 3 song is my favorite song off of Katy Lled, and that is Bad Sneakers. Oh, I love Bad Sneakers. You fella, you standing in the heat. No, standing in the street. You wear that white tuxedo. How you going to beat the heat? The hell is this talking about? I have no idea, but I love the way the words sound. I listen to the lyrics to Bad Sneaker the same way I listen to a typical Van Dyke Parks lyric. I'm just paying attention to what the words sound like. But I love the song. I love the music of Bad Sneakers. Okay, number 2. As much crap as I gave Gaucho in my ranking video, put it 8th out of 9. Oh, ruffled a lot of feathers when I did that. As much crap as I gave Gaucho, I have to give it props because, and I just happen to have my vinyl copy of it right here. I have to give it props because it gave us Babylon Sisters, and oh man, do I love this song. This is one of these where I get lost in that groove. I love the song, I love the chords, I love the voices, I love the lyrics and all of that, but I just adore the interaction of Bernard Purdie and Chuck Rainey on this thing. I love Babylon Sisters. Fantastic song. But it's not my favorite song. Out of all of these songs that Steely Dan has recorded and released over the years, my favorite, this was not a hard one to pick out. I knew Babylon Sneakers. I knew Bad Sneakers was going to be 3rd. I knew Babylon Sisters was going to be 2nd. And I knew that my number 1 favorite song off of 1976's The Royal Scam was going to be Kid Charlemagne. Oh man, do I love this song. Oh man, my note. Larry Carlton, Chuck Rainey, Bernard Purdie, Fagan Becker, Jesus. That's what I mean. Larry Carlton's guitar on this, that alone, okay, you're number 1. Larry Carlton is fantastic, one of my favorite guitarists. If we got that good Bernard Purdie, Chuck Rainey groove going, we've got one of Becker and Fagan's better lyrics here, I think, in the sense that I can follow along with the story. I know what we're talking about. It doesn't feel quite as skeevy as some of their other songs. So, yeah, thumbs up across the board. It's a fantastic song. And I think it's the best song they ever did. So, those are my 10 favorite Steely Dan songs, my personal top 10. What do you think? Are there songs that I should have included on here? How would you rate your top 10? Where do you agree? Where do you disagree? Drop that comment below. Just don't criticize me because I play cheap guitars. Don't criticize me because how the hell should... Yeah, if I'm not a master craftsman, how the hell can I make this? How can I say this? Yeah, avoid that kind of nonsense. You can use the No True Scotsman on me if you want, because that rolls right off my back. But bullying, I react pretty strongly to. But regardless, drop a note down below. Let me know what you think. I always love hearing from you. I always love having the conversation. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you'd click that like button. If you have not already, then go ahead and click the subscribe button. If you click the subscribe button, go ahead and click the bell notification icon. Because, hey, why not? Thanks again for watching. And I hope that the rest of your day is harmonious. See you soon.